Ralph, who do you think will win the AFCON? And Prince, who do you think will win the AFCON?
I see Egypt winning the AFCON.
Okay. And Prince, who do you think will win the AFCON?
Let me give it to Morocco.
Morocco, okay. Touchlines. So we are going to have a discussion about the African Cup of Nations. This season, we are having it in Morocco, and they've been able to break enough record, especially before a ball is being kicked on their pitch. As of now, they are saying the AFCON will be telecast in 4K, the first ever in African continent. And they've been able to sell tickets more than the two previous AFCONs. That shows that Morocco are serious about this African Cup of Nations. We are going to discuss with the group stages, which teams are we tipping to move out of the group. And sadly, Ghana is not part of the African Cup of Nations. So go on to MyBet.Africa, scan the QR code, get a chance to register. MyBet.Africa is saying with this African Cup of Nations coming up, they are boosting their odds just for you. So scan the QR code and bet on this African Cup of Nations going on. We'll go and have a discussion with my pundits on which group we think will be the group of death, which group, who are the two teams we are tipping to qualify from each group. Then we'll look at finally, who are we looking at winning the African Cup of Nations at the end of this tournament. So watch to the end and get every details, every breakdown you need on the African Cup of Nations. So Ralph, you're welcome. Prince, you are also welcome to this evening's Tactics and Touchline African Cup of Nations edition. So let's look at Group A. Group A has Comoros, Mali, Morocco, and Zambia. We know that Mali are one team that has been dominating on the African continent for some while. Morocco, with their performance at the World Cup, if you are calling on any African country with a top-tier type of football, Morocco will be mentioned. Zambia has a good record also on the African continent. We've seen them win the African Cup of Nations, beating some high-profile nations to get on there. Comoros, in recent times, have been the dark horse in the African Cup of Nations. They've beaten the likes of Ghana in the previous African Cup of Nations. Let's look at this group. Looking at this group, which teams are we tipping to get a chance to qualify out of the group? Who will top the group and who will be on the second place? So let me start from Rap.
The host nation automatically are going to qualify. Morocco, in their last World Cup, the first African country to finish to go to the semi-final, final of the World Cup. That is a big history. Ghana nearly did it, but unfortunately couldn't make it. But so Morocco, with the quality they have, their manager recently said Hakimi will be fit for the AFCON. He's just going through one or two steps and then he'll be ready for the AFCON. The likes of Amrabat, the likes of Hakim Ziyech, and the likes, they are all going. So, of course, the host nation will by all means qualify from the group stage. And then Mali. If we talk about African football, some of the countries that are producing quality players in Africa, and the reason why currently most teams in most countries or most scouts will be visiting Morocco to watch the AFCON is because of countries like Mali and Senegal. They are producing a lot of quality players, especially when you go to France, right? Senegal, Mali, and even countries which are not even household names when it comes to African football are now properly into football development. Comoros are playing excellently well. Look, countries who have not even won the AFCON before, if you look at the developmental project for their respective national teams, you are going to be shocked. But I see Morocco and Mali qualifying from that group. Zambia will pull some strings, but in the last 3 seasons, 4 years, Zambia have not really done too well since they won the AFCON. So I see Mali and Morocco qualifying from that group.
Okay. Grace, let's look at this group. What do you think about the group and also which teams, which countries are you looking at qualifying in this group?
Okay, so with Raf, he gave it to Mali and Morocco.
Morocco, yeah.
I'll tip Comoros ahead of Mali. I'll tip Comoros. Those guys seem like underdogs that you wouldn't want to even give them the chance, but that's why they'll surprise you. I watched a few of their games during the World Cup qualifiers, and you could see how compact they are, even in the midfield. And surprisingly, they don't have any of these top players in there, but you could see they play as a unit, they play as a body. You could see that they join themselves together and they understand each other so well. So I personally want to give them a chance. With Morocco stands a better chance in our group. probably, I'm sure they have the highest rating in the FIFA ranking in that group. So they have the quality. They even have an addition to the players that Ralph mentioned. They have Brahim Diaz from Madrid, who is also part of them. So they have the quality up front. The defense is solid. They have this goalkeeper, Bono, who plays in Saudi League. These guys have what it takes to even go on and lift the trophy. So I think I'll take Morocco and Comoros in that group.
Okay, so let's move to Group B. Group B has Angola, Egypt, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. Angola has been off from the AFCON for some time. They are coming back into the African Cup of Nations. Egypt, the household name in the African Cup of Nations, they are the highest country with the trophies. And South Africa are now getting into the African football gradually after missing out for some time. Zimbabwe have lost their pedigree when it comes to the African continent. Ralph, looking at this group, which team are you tipping to qualify, the two best teams in this group?
Ben, let me be biased here. I want Egypt to copy what Argentina did for Leo Messi at the 2022 World Cup.
Similar for Mohamed Salah.
100%. They should fight for every ball. They should win every ball. They should make sure that I just want Mo Salah to win just one thing for one more thing. He should add that into his trophy cabinet. That is the AFCON. For him to be the greatest African player ever.
Has he won an AFCON before?
No. He has not won the AFCON.
Wow.
And I want Salah to win the AFCON to be the greatest African player ever. And that is...
A minute. But Egypt has won like 8 or something.
Yes, but then he was
not part of the team. 2010. He wasn't part of their group.
He wasn't part of the team. So, Ben, Angola, Egypt, South Africa is playing so well. South Africa, man, they have everything to become a big name when it comes to African football. But I don't know, they fail to deliver the structures, pitches, everything is in place for them to do.
Even their league.
Even their league.
They are bringing in top coaches too.
Yes. But so I feel, you see, man, it boils down to the individual talent. You see, there are some things that are God-given. Man, you can't compare a South African playing football to a Ghanaian. No way.
Yeah.
You know, I see Egypt qualifying from that group, and I see South Africa qualify. Angola and Zimbabwe will be dropped from that group. South Africa will qualify together with Egypt.
Okay, so Prince, looking at this group, which teams are tipping to qualify, and who do you think would be the dark horse in this particular group?
I think the dark horse would be Angola. Those guys, they really have some energy in their team. They look like a team you will not even expect them to do anything in the back. They'll just pull a surprise. But yes, I'm still going to go with South Africa and Egypt. Especially there,
So let's look at Group C. Nigeria, Tanzania, Tunisia, Uganda. With Nigeria, we've seen them in the last AFCON in 2012, they picked up a trophy. They are looking at replicating the same thing because in the last AFCON, they got to the final and lost. Tanzania coming into the AFCON as like new boys coming in to test the tournament and see how it will go. Tunisia has been off the radar for some time, but in their World Cup qualifiers, they went a whole 6 games to 8 games without not conceding a goal, and they've qualified for the World Cup. Uganda, in 2006, 2008, they were dominating the African continent for some time, but now they are off. Looking at this group, Ralph, Tunisia, Tanzania, Nigeria, Uganda, which teams are going to qualify as the best 2 teams?
Man, among all the teams, the countries you've mentioned, when we talk about a team that has players who are popular or who are playing top teams, Nigeria will be there. Nigeria will be tipped to as the team that, but Nigeria lacks that cohesion. They lack that team unity.
Yeah.
The likes of Osimhen will be angry when a team concedes. Nigeria itself has a problem. They are dealing with
keeper.
Their keeper has anger issues.
Yeah.
So man, all these problems. If the Nigerian Football Association can put all these things behind them and play as a team to just help because I don't know, but this might be Victor Osimhen's. He has another AFCON to play. It is a World Cup rather. But if they can do their best to help Victor Osimhen to win the AFCON, it is going to go a long way to help him. Aside that one, Ben, you just made mention of Tunisia going about 7 to 8 games unbeaten for the World Cup qualifiers. And of course, the North Africans have a project. Almost all the North African countries in Africa have qualified for the World Cup, if I'm correct. Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia.
Algeria.
Yes, Algeria. They've all qualified. It means they have a particular project they are working on. Therefore, I see Tunisia qualifying from that group. And Nigeria will also join Tunisia in qualifying. Tanzania and Uganda are going to be eliminated.
Okay. So, Prince, looking at this group, which teams are tipping to be the best 2 teams in the group?
One beautiful thing about this African football is that it's usually different from what we picture it to be like.
Yes, that is the excitement of that.
Yeah, it happened when we went to Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire was third. It was one of the 3rd best teams, but they went all out to go and win. I think at the point, they even sacked their coach, and their assistant coach came in to take them to. So African football is way different from sometimes the way we see it. So you might picture someone to be good until the tournament kicks off, and you be surprised. Some of this Uganda, these Rwanda guys are so good. I really have a problem tipping Nigeria in this tournament because when you look at the way they played, even their World Cup qualifiers, that we played among this Zimbabwe and this Rwanda teams, they had to struggle even at home. I really see Nigeria shaking in this World Cup. And one thing too about this African players too is that whenever they are playing in this tournament, they want to hurry up and go back to their
team.
They want to, because if you put too much intensity, you might pick up an injury and miss out at your club level. So usually it has a way of playing in the tournament. So I'll pick I don't know, I had Uganda in the right.
Yeah, so it's Uganda, Tunisia, Tanzania, Nigeria.
I'll pick Uganda and Tunisia qualifying from this group.
Okay, so let's look at Group D. Group D has Benin, Botswana, DR Congo, and Senegal. Senegal has been one of the best teams in African continentals, and now DR Congo are getting up and there with the likes of Wan-Bissaka, Twanzebe. Wisa wouldn't be joining them for the AFCON. Botswana and also Benin.
And even that Senegal guy. There's this
yes.
Sadiki.
So, Raf, which 2 teams are you tipping to qualify from this group?
Ben, the Senegalese national team is the Brazil of African football currently. They are flying so high, Sadio Mane, Koulibaly, to the extent that they have this new boy at Newcastle who has not been called up to the national team, Malik Thiaw.
Yeah.
He missed out on that should tell you the sort of quality the Senegalese team carries. And then they have a local coach as well. And that is one thing that I'll be happy that the Ghana Football Association should copy. Even Sadio Mane, who has seen all in European football, gives respect to that manager. But we have local players who don't give respect when our own coach is a black or is a Ghanaian person. So then I see Senegal qualifying from that group. And Senegal is, out of 10, they have 8% chance or 9% chance of winning the AFCON. If nothing changes, as Prince stated earlier, the AFCON is going to be full of surprises. You see a Benin causing surprises. Look, that is the beauty of the African Cup of Nations, unlike the European competitions, where when France is meeting Slovenia, you stand there for France. But in the African Cup of Nations, Botswana can beat Senegal, DR Congo can beat Nigeria in that order. Yeah. Now, the quality that the Senegalese team is coming with, they are going to just build on from what they did in the World Cup qualifiers. So therefore, I see Senegal qualifying. I see DR Congo qualifying. DR Congo has an excellent team. I think that is going to play in the World Cup playoffs. Their unit is there. Yeah. That setup is there. So they are going to build upon that setup. So I see Senegal and DR Congo qualifying in that group.
Okay. Prince, looking at this group, that is Benin, Botswana, DR Congo, Senegal. Which 2 teams are you tipping to qualify in this group?
Yeah, I'll take just like Raf. I'll take DR Congo. These guys are good. I really enjoy watching them in the qualifiers, the World Cup qualifiers. that they played against Nigeria and one other country like that, and they are good. And with Senegal and the Sadio Mane people, I think now they have 2 Sadio Manes in the team. There's another Sadio Mane who has also joined the team. So now we have 2 Sadio Manes in the Senegal team. And I believe so that they have all the potentials they will need going forward in this tournament. So with Senegal and DR Congo, they're already through from that group.
Okay, let's look at Group E: Algeria, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, Sudan. Raf, which 2 teams are tipping to qualify? I think this group is a bit lighter compared to some of the groups we've mentioned. So Algeria, Burkina, Algeria, Burkina, Equatorial Guinea, and Sudan.
Sudan. Oh, straight away is Algeria, Burkina Faso.
There's Christian in Sudan.
Yes. Manganese interest. So then let me change it. Algeria, Sudan.
Yeah, you can change
Algeria qualify together with Sudan. Kwesi is doing well.
Ghana is not there, so we will all be supporting Kwesi.
Yes. Sudan qualify. Ben,
okay, so
the
Equatorial Guinea.
Ben, with the Guineas, the Equatorial Guinea is there, and then we have Guinea-Bissau.
Yes, no, this tournament we only have Equatorial Guinea.
Equatorial Guinea, okay,
Guinea-Bissau couldn't qualify.
Okay.
So Equatorial Guinea, Burkina Faso, Algeria, and Sudan. So you are tipping Algeria and Sudan to qualify.
Algeria and Sudan, yes, 100%.
Okay. So Prince, looking at this group, which teams are tipping to qualify?
I think Burkina stands a chance in there. I look at the way they played their World Cup qualifiers, and I think until the last minute when those issues came up and had to have Nigeria join the third best teams, Burkina did so well.
Yeah.
Burkina did so well in their World Cup qualifiers. So I tip Burkina in there, and I also tip Sudan, our own coach.
But Prince, how can you tip over Prince on paper? Algeria, look, they have the current top scorer in the World Cup qualifiers for the African countries. There's a guy called Mohamed Amoura. He has 10 goals in the qualifiers. So, look, Algeria will be there. The likes of Riyad Mahrez is still there. Riyad Mahrez is still there.
This AFCON is a different distance, Charlie. AFCON.
We saw Central African Republic dominating the last AFCON.
AFCON is not just about formation and tactics. It's about the mentality. Like people come in
different mentality.
They want to win. True.
It's like an Italian football. You see how the Italian league is. You have to go hard. You have to go hard.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so let's look at the last group F: Cameroon, Gambia, Cameroon, Gabon, Ivory Coast, Mozambique. I think this group has a bit of maybe the group of death for now. Cameroon, Gabon, Ivory Coast, Mozambique. Ralph, which 2 teams are tipping to qualify from this group?
Cameroon, Gabon, Ivory Coast, and Mozambique.
The top group.
Hey, Ivory Coast.
Gabon is on
the likes of Vezza. Ben Vezza, the Ivorians have quality setup, but this time around we hardly hear some of their big names in Europe. When Zaha was in England, we could hear Zaha flying. But I feel Zaha was still in the team. Cameroon had a problem. Cameroon has dropped Andre Onana.
Yes, and the last time Cameroon dropped senior players, they went on to win the AFCON.
And they have dropped Onana. Wow.
They've dropped their captain, Abubakar.
Vincent Abubakar. But Mbeumo is there. Of course, Mbeumo is there. Carlos Baleba is there.
Baleba is there. Mbeumo is there, yeah.
Okay.
So they are going with their new generation.
Yes, man, I see Ivory Coast and Gabon qualifying. I don't see Cameroon making it out of
Ivory Coast also didn't go with Nicolas Pepe.
Yes. He was taken out of the squad. Yeah. So, Prince, which teams are tipping to qualify from this group?
I think I'll pick Gabon. Gabon has a very good team to go out.
So Gabon and Cameroon.
Yeah, Gabon and Cameroon will qualify.
Okay. So this is the AFCON review. We just highlighted on. Come back and give you in-depth analysis on what happened in the first round of games. Remember to bet on MyBet.Africa on the AFCON. But with our last comment, Ralph, who do you think will win the AFCON? And Prince, who do you think will win the AFCON?
I see Egypt winning the AFCON.
Okay. And Prince, who do you think will win the AFCON?
Let me give it to Morocco.
Morocco, okay. So we'll see you on the next show on the AFCON Cup of Nations, where we'll break the first round of games. Thank you all for joining us.
You're welcome.